What if Africa was never looted, never pillaged, never drained of gold, labor, land, and people? Just imagine, what if Africa's resources stayed in Africa? Then Africans wouldn't have to travel thousands of miles to politely ask for opportunities built with the wealth that was taken from them. And they definitely wouldn't be called unpleasant immigrants for following their own stolen money home. Awkward. What if African history wasn't erased, rewritten, or laughed off as folklore? Then Africa wouldn't constantly be described as a continent with no history by people whose museums are full of African artifacts, with labels that say origin unknown. Mysterious. What if nobody decided that enslaving millions of Africans was just a minor side quest on the road to modern civilization? Then perhaps we wouldn't still be debating who deserves dignity centuries later. What if colonial borders were not drawn by men who had never been there, using maps, rulers, and vibes? Then maybe entire nations wouldn't be permanently unstable and then blamed for it. Strange how that works. What if African intelligence wasn't rebranded as raw talent, while everyone else's was called genius? Because apparently Africans can run fast by accident, but think slowly on purpose. Fascinating science. What if African food wasn't labeled ethnic until it made money? What if African music wasn't noise until it topped global charts? What if African fashion wasn't primitive until Paris borrowed it? What if African knowledge systems were taught instead of dismissed because they weren't written in European handwriting? What if memory counted as intelligence before a printing press arrived? What if African doctors, engineers, and scientists didn't have to leave home to be taken seriously abroad and then be reminded daily that they are lucky to be here? What if Africans weren't told they are catching up after being tripped, tied, and forced to restart over and over again? And finally, what if, after all that looting, erasing, and sabotaging, Africa still produced world-class minds, athletes, culture, and innovation? Oh, wait, it did that. Oh, maybe the real question isn't, why are Africans everywhere now? Maybe it's, why wouldn't they be?